Most people grow up believing that kindness means leaving the doors open for everyone to enter. I used to be that person. That is, if you are compassionate enough, patient enough, and understanding enough, eventually people will respect your heart. That's what we think. But in reality, reality teaches a difficult lesson. Some people do not see kindness as a virtue. They see it as an opportunity, and to them, empathy is not something to value. It is simply something to use. In this reflection, I invite you to join me as we explore why kindness should never be taken for a weakness, and also why protecting your peace is the only way to keep your compassion from being exploited. Welcome to another reflection time with Dr. T, a space where healing meets growth and becoming begins. Let's begin today's reflection by looking at the misconception of softness or kindness. Most toxic personalities often interpret empathy, or they would misinterpret empathy. Where people see kindness as strong, manipulators see it as something entirely different. They see kindness as access, as an opportunity to take away. When someone constantly forgives, constantly explains, and constantly tries to understand everyone else's pain, a toxic individual, on the other hand, begins to assume something dangerous is happening. They assume there are no boundaries. And once someone believes there are no boundaries, they begin testing the limits of what they can get away with. This is where kindness slowly turns into convenience. Not because kindness is weak, but because it has been left unguarded for a long time. And this is the moment when emotional harvesting begins. Manipulative people rarely begin with obvious disrespect. It takes time. Instead, they start small. A dismissive comment, a subtle guilt trip, a small request that quietly crosses a boundary. These moments are not random. They are often tested and well planned. These people are observing whether your desire to be understanding will override your discomfort. And when you repeatedly choose empathy over self-respect, a toxic person begins to harvest your emotional energy. They've learned exactly how far they can go. They've learned exactly which words make you doubt yourself. And before you realize it, your kindness has become the very tool used to manipulate you. At this point, you must begin rebuilding a conscious gatekeeper. What does that mean? Kindness should never mean living without protection. Imagine your character as a garden, a beautiful garden that attracts many people. But a wise gardener understands something's important. Without the gate, the garden would eventually be destroyed. It's the same. Healthy kindness is not an open field where anyone can walk freely. It is a walled garden where only those who respect the space are invited inside. This means you must learn to say simple but powerful things like, "I'm not comfortable with that," or "that doesn't work for me," or "I wish you well, but I can't continue this conversation if you do not respect me." These are not acts of cruelty, these are acts of self-respect. Kindness is strategic and powerful. And true kindness is not about pleasing everyone. It's about living with integrity. A strong spirit is capable of empathy, but also capable of saying no. Because compassion without boundaries does not heal the world. People would use you. It only exhausts the kindness people within it. Real compassion understands something powerful. Not everyone deserves access to your emotional energy. Some people must first demonstrate respect before they receive your empathy. And that does not make you cold. It makes you wise. Be a wise person. Hence, my dear friends, it is time for you to develop an ecosystem of sustainable empathy around you. When you remove toxic drains from your life, something interesting happens. Your kindness becomes stronger. Your patience returns, and your emotional energy becomes available for people who truly value it, not the fake ones who come to steal it. Friends who respect you, families who appreciate you, your presence, communities where kindness flows in both directions. That's what we need. In this environment, compassion stops depleting you. It becomes something that sustains you because everybody is giving it. So, to conclude our reflection today, I want to remind you that kindness is one of the most powerful traits a person can possess. But kindness without boundaries is like a light left burning in an empty room. Eventually, it burns out. The strongest hearts understand, and they understand that protecting their peace is not selfish. It's very important. It is necessary because when your compassion is guarded, and if it is guarded wisely, it does not disappear. It simply reaches the people who truly deserve it. Don't change your kindness. Before you leave, I want you to take a moment to reflect on something important. Remember, kindness is not weakness. Empathy is not naivety. And protecting your peace is not selfish. The strongest people in the world are often the ones who choose to remain kind, even after learning that not everyone deserves unlimited access to their hearts. But wisdom teaches us something essential. A compassionate spirit must be a guarded spirit. Because when your boundaries are strong, your kindness doesn't disappear. It simply reaches the people who truly value it. So if this reflection resonated with you today, my dear friends, please take a moment to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments below, and join me on YouTube for more reflection time. Subscribe to my channel. My reflections are on human nature, personal growth, and the deeper lessons of life. Life teaches us. Remember, sometimes the most powerful transformations in life happens when we stop trying to be endlessly available and we start being intentionally present. I'll see you in the next reflection.